Okay, PTM, prop the mic here on a Tuesday, March 21st. How you doing, Dave?
I'm good, man. I'm excited about today's games. I don't know why. Maybe this.
Which one are you most excited about?
There's a lull in college basketball. No CBI on in the middle of the day to watch. So
yeah,
now I'm. It's really funny watching the CBI, like looking at all the matchups. Like every team in the CBI has 20 to 22 wins. They're all like, they're all like in bad conferences and like didn't win a lot of games. So they made that instead of the NIT, and then obviously certainly not a big dance. But anyway, so your question: what game am I most excited about? I would say the Celtics at the Kings, I think, is one that I'm targeting. I always like the Kings games, and then you throw the Celtics in there and a 238-point total. That sounds like good stuff.
Yeah, I think so. I think I like that. And the Thunder Clippers game should be fun too.
Yeah, that'll be good. Yeah. All right, so we're going to run through this fairly quickly today so we can get our picks up on Twitter. So let's go. First game, we got the Wiz at the Magic, even spread. Total is 225.5. Kuzma is out for the Wizards. Suggs is out for the Magic. Who do you like here?
All right, going up against Washington. Not a lot of matchups. There's some matchups that stand out, but nothing that coincides with players' positions on the Magic. But one I did find, which we posted up on Twitter already today, was the Wendell Carter rebounds. So rolling cut bigs have a nice matchup here. He's not really a roll; he's more of a stretch big. So not really his game, but I think we could still look at it. And given this matchup, he's got some nice stuff without Suggs. So he's done this in 9 of 10 overall, averaging 10.4. And he's actually done it in his last 4 games without Jalen Suggs, 11, 12, 12, and 13. But if you filter games where Carter plays 25-plus minutes, which he typically always does unless something weird happens in the game, he's done that also in 9 of 10 without Suggs.
Yeah, it's a good play.
Yeah.
I think immediately after you put that up, it pushed from 8.5 to 9.5. Do you like it still at 9.5?
I like that we're moving the market.
Yeah, move the market. FanDuel is watching this right now.
That's right, baby. Do I like it as much? Yeah, I think I do. I mean, those last 4 games without Suggs, 11, 12, 12, and 13. The last 9 of 10, he's averaging over 10. So, yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Anybody else on the Magic?
Nobody else on the Magic, no.
Yeah, I like the rebound prop as well. I like Cole Anthony over 4.5 rebounds, minus 125. You wouldn't think of him as a rebounder, but he's done this in 7 of his last 7 games, and as a subset of that, he's done it in 5 of the last 5 games, and he had 6 versus Washington. I was digging into his impact of Suggs being in or out of the lineup because I figured he would be one of the beneficiaries.
Yeah,
it looks like he plays about 3 extra minutes if Suggs is out. Okay. So he plays good minutes already, 29 minutes a game. So he's not going to get huge uptick in minutes from Suggs being out, but nevertheless, it's one less player he's competing with for time, and even with Suggs, I think it's a good play. So 4.5 rebounds, Cole Anthony.
All right, sounds good.
All right, anybody on the Wizards side?
I got one. So again, same sort of thing. Couple matchups standing out here, but nothing that matches up with Washington's roster perfectly. But I like Beal here without Kuzma. So 26.5 points. He's done this in his last 5 of 6 this season without Kuzma. I think that's the entire season. I think it's 6 games he missed, and he's cleared this in 5 of them, averaging over 30 points a game in those 6 games without Kuzma. So, yeah,
that's a nice play. Maybe go Beal 30 too. That would be good odds.
Yeah. And you have, I mean, your matchups here, although nothing, Beal's in the shot creator category, right, of guards. So that's not popping off against Orlando, but the positions that are all like your ball handling guard type positions. So I think it still bodes well for Beal here. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
All right, you ready to move on? We got the Pistons at the Hawks next.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Hawks are -14 at home. Hawks aren't even that good of a team, but the Pistons are just so in tank mode. Totals 236. Pistons are pretty much sitting a lot of people. I think Bogdanovich is out. But notable for probably what we're going to talk about, both Duren and Stewart are out today. So that really just leaves Bagley and Wiseman at the big man spot. So, okay, what do you like here?
All right. You also DeJounte Murray is also out in this game.
Oh, okay, I didn't see that.
Yeah.
Oh, and it is the unrelated Bogdanoviches going up against each other.
Yeah, there you go.
That would have been good.
Juice
would have been good if they were both playing, but oh well.
Yeah, that's true. So Murray's out. So I don't know. Atlanta's a little bit. I'm a little cautious with Atlanta because the rotations with Quinn Snyder. Immediately upon him starting, Trae Young's attempts just plummeted, and then it seems like he was just kind of like, forget this, and started to take a bunch of more shots like he used to, and now it's gone back down. So I don't know what's going on, but I do like the fact that the second highest usage guy on Atlanta is not playing in this game. And it was already a good matchup. So shot creating guards against Detroit was already a matchup that's standing out here. So I like him. I think I like his points here. 27.5 points, -108. He's done this in 2 of 3 games against Detroit this season. 26 in the last game, but before that, 36 and 35. He's done this in 7 of 10 at home when he plays 30-plus minutes, averaging 31 points. And his last 5 of 6 at home when he plays 30-plus minutes, averaging 33.3 points.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, no, he's been hot at home. So I think it's good play. The question is, what happens if they're up 20 at the end of the third quarter? Is he going to play the fourth? But they tend to let people hang around. So
yeah,
we said that last night about the Warriors, remember? And they these big spreads, often the team getting all the points ends up hanging around. So sorry, go ahead.
No. So I don't have a pick here, but you have a very good matchup, versatile bigs against Detroit. So that's John Collins for the Hawks. So I think he's in store for a good game here. I couldn't find something that I loved. The other one I like, also a great matchup, are your shooting forwards. So for Atlanta, that's Hunter and your revenge narrative, Sadiq Bey. So I'm waiting for those Bey lines to come out. Yeah, buddy. So that will be a nice one. Great matchup. Revenge first. I think first time playing Detroit since the trade.
I think so.
Yeah. So I like that.
All right, nice. I liked. I'm going back to my boy, who's quickly supplanting Mr. Capella. I like Okongwu again, over 9.5 points this time, -115. His last 3 games against Detroit, he had 10, 16, and 12. And his last, I think he's hit this in 5 of 7 at home, of his last 7 at home. So he seems to be on the rise in terms of playing time. There are some games like the last game where he only gets 20 minutes, but there are some other games where he's getting more minutes than Capella. And I just like, with the absence of depth at the big man position, I think he's going to feast, and I also think if it does end up being a blowout, he'll get more run at the end of the game. So what do you think?
Yeah, good. Yeah, I think it's a good spot for him. And I like these guys that when there's a good chance of a blowout, like you said, I like these guys that are going to get the younger guys that get the extended run in a blowout.
Yeah, especially in this position. Capella, they're definitely very cautious with him and his minutes. He does not play much more than 20 minutes. And because of that, any opportunity to sit him, they will. So, okay, cool. Anybody on the Pistons side? So you have a bunch of nice matchups here against Atlanta. Like one's ball handling wings, but that's Alec Burks. He's not playing. He's out.
Shooting Shooting forwards, also great matchup. That's Isaiah Levers. I think he's also out or questionable or whatever. So the one I liked here, you also have great matchup for your primary ball handlers. So that's Ivy and Hayes here. I think the guy I like is Ivy. And I think I like his par, 27.5 par, minus 108. In the 4 games he's played this season without Bojan and Jalen Duren in the lineup, his par output, ready? 43, 31, 1 game with 16, and then 33. So 3 of the 4 games without those 2 guys in the lineup in an already great matchup. So
yeah, and a 236-point game.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
They're good for 115 plus points in this game. So it should be good.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool. Keep moving.
Yep. Let's do it.
All right. Got the Cavs at the Nets. Nets are plus 3.5 at home. Totals 218.5. So let's not go too crazy with this game.
Yeah.
What do you like here?
All right, going up against Cleveland, same thing. Not a lot of great matchups. The 2 we can look at, versatile bigs, which Brooklyn does not have. And then shot-creating wings / forwards, who at the moment Brooklyn does not have, only because Mikal Bridges is I have him classified as like a ball-handling wing. But he's slowly creeping into this shot creating wing / forward designation, I think, especially obviously since joining Brooklyn. So 24.5 points, minus 135. He's done this in 8 of 11 games since joining the Nets when he plays 32 plus minutes, averaging 31.7 points in those games. So I don't think this will be a blowout. I don't see any reason why he wouldn't play 32 minutes here. So I like Bridges over 24.5 points.
Nice. I'm a little upset that you don't think Nick Claxton is versatile.
He's not. He doesn't shoot threes.
Oh, that's the definition?
Yeah. Well, those are your stretch bigs, and then your versatile bigs are the ones who like have some can hit threes. Will have playmaking ability. So yeah, that's not Nick Claxton.
Still not.
He's blocks and rebounds.
True. All right. Anybody on the Cavs side?
I did. So 2 nice matchups here. So you have a nice matchup for your off-ball wings who are stationary shooters. That's Isaac Okoro, over 7.5 points, plus 100. He's done this in 6 of 10 on the road, averaging 8.1. 6 of 10 overall, averaging 8.1. 5 of 10 on the road, averaging 9.6. So, your hit rate's not great, but when he's hitting, it's, he's averaging 9.6. So he's covering by a decent amount. This is what I like, though. The last 2 times he played on 3 days rest, his lines 15, 4, and 2. Well, we're just looking at points here, but that's 15 points. And then the other game was 9, 3, and 4, 9 points in the 2 games he's played on 3 days rest in a good matchup. I like that. And then the other guy, this will be the guy that's going up against Bridges here. So Donovan Mitchell, 26.5 points, minus 115. Shot creating guards against Brooklyn since February 1st is I think probably, top 5, top 6 matchup. He's done this, ready? 7 of 8 games on 3 days rest, averaging 31.2 points.
Wow.
His last 7 of 7 straight games on 3 days rest when he plays more than 30 minutes, averaging 32.6 points. So Donovan likes his extra rest.
And coming back to New York, right? So not the Knicks, but still, he's a New York guy. So
yep, for sure. He'll have family there. Yep.
All right, cool. Yeah, I sent this to you earlier today. I like Garland over 21.5 points. The funny thing about Garland is at the midway point of the season, we said, who is the best player at home versus on the road? And Darius Garland was either number 1 or number 2.
Yeah.
Right. I think PJ Tucker was number 1. PJ Washington was number 1.
Yeah.
And I think Garland was number 2. Now the trend is flipped, and he's actually playing really well on the road and really poorly at home. Not really poorly, but just not clearing. So 8 of his last 10 on the road, he's cleared his points line of 21.5. But what was most compelling is 6 straight against Brooklyn, averaging 30.2 points over those 6 games. This spans, I think, multiple seasons. And in his last game against Brooklyn on December 26th, he had 46 points. So there's something about Garland and Brooklyn that he likes. So let's go with Darius Garland, 21.5 points.
All right. Sounds good.
Okay. All right, cool. All right, next matchup, we got the Spurs at the Pels. Pels are minus 13 at home, so another home potential blowout. I'm sorry, no, the other way around. Yeah, home favorite. Totals 231.5. What do you like here?
All right, not a lot from this game is popping here, but all your bigs, rolling cut, stretch, and versatile, all popping off big time against the Spurs here. So your rolling cut bigs are Nance, Jackson Hayes, Willie Hernan Gomez. Your versatile big is Joe Val. So that's who we're going to go with here.
Okay.
I like his points, 15.5 points, minus 120. You know why I like it? Did you see this one?
No, but I know Zach Collins is out, so that's one less person guarding him.
Joe Val's cleared 15.5 points in 8 straight games against the Spurs, averaging 18 and 18.6 points.
I like that.
Yeah.
All right, that's good. I liked your boy Najee Marshall.
Okay.
You turned me on to Najee a couple games ago, and I've been following him ever since. Over 6.5 points. He's done this in 8 of his last 10, and versus the Spurs, he put up 3 games against the Spurs. He put up 5, 15, and 7, so covered in 2 of the last 3. The other interesting thing is in games where the Pelicans win by 10 or more, Najee plays 28 minutes versus his typical 24 minutes. So he gets 4 extra minutes a run when he does play. So I like the 6.5 points. I think it's a good play. But just know that he will probably get 4 or 5 shots in the entire game. So his shooting percentage needs to be 60, 70% in order to cash, but he can do it.
Yeah, nice. I like that. I think I love those low lines. 6.5 is nice, and he's been crushing that, right?
Yeah, the only thing about this type of player, like there's a lot of players in the league, they come in at with 3 minutes left in the first quarter, and then they go out maybe 6 minutes, 7 minutes into the second quarter. So it's like
they can't can't get into a rhythm.
No, the window that they play is really tight. So Rui Hachimura the other day was doing that too. So yeah. All right. Anyway, ready to move on?
Just one I wanted to point out here. You have a decimated Spurs lineup here. Nobody, Sohan's not playing, Vassell, Keldon Johnson, Zach Collins. So actually, there's a guy. There's no lines out on him yet, but he's in a great matchup, and he's gonna play today because they need him. Romeo Langford is in a tremendous matchup here, and he's got. I mean, how many guys could they have? Eight guys or something? 7, 8 guys playing today. So he's got to play minutes, and he's in a great matchup against New Orleans here. So
was he the guy who used to be on the Celtics? Is that
on the Celtics? Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. This sounds like a Lindy Waters, the 3rd pick right here.
There we go.
I'm expecting a text from you later today with Romeo Langford's 20th point.
There we go.
Screenshotted. I love that. All right. Yeah. Speaking of the Celtics, next game we got the Celtics at the Kings. Kings are getting 5 points at home. Total is again nice over 230, 238.5. You and I were on the same guy on this game. What do you like?
We were. Brogdon?
Yeah, you do it.
All right. Love Brogdon here. He's in a great primary ball handlers are in a great matchup against Sacramento. I think everyone these days is in a great matchup against Sacramento. The most fun team to watch in the league, by the way. So 13.5 points for Brogdon, minus 115. He's done this in 10 straight games on 2 days rest, averaging 16.7 points per game. He's done this in 15 of his last 17 games on the road this season, averaging 19 points per game. And the reason I like this, like I mentioned, primary ball handlers against Sacramento, averaging 19.1 points per game since February 1st, playing over 20 minutes.
Yeah. And I think I just dug into those games on 2 days rest. Brown and Tatum, I think, played in every one of them, or maybe every one but one. So it's not like he's hitting that because he's moved into a starting role. He's still coming off the bench in most of those games and just is really efficient when he plays.
Yeah, that's the one you really have. The 2 days rest one, not so much. But the one when the guys are on back-to-backs and you see a trend there, you have to dig a little bit more, because a lot of times when it's back-to-backs with the NBA these days, it's because they're on a back-to-back and one of the superstars isn't playing that game.
Yeah, you know? But this is the opposite, right? This is 2 days rest, so those are the games where your stars are most likely to play. So
yes.
Nice. Okay. Anybody else?
Yeah, I had a couple more. This was my favorite of the day. Just the game wise in terms of plays here. So I also like Brogdon's assist, 2.5 assists. This one's minus 175, so not like the minus 115 for his points. But he's done this in 9 of 11 games on 2 days rest, averaging 4 assists. 22 of 30 on the road, averaging 3.9 assists, and this is why it was popping out. Primary ball handlers averaging 7 assists per game versus Sacramento since February 1st. Yeah.
So would you entertain 3.5 assists for him?
Would I entertain 3.5? Yeah, I think you would. I mean, he's averaging 4 there, so yeah.
Right. And again, high scoring game. So Tatum and Brown are going to be scoring a bunch. So I assume he'll be throwing them the ball from time to time. So
yes, yeah. Okay.
Okay.
I got a couple more. Go ahead. Real quick. So another great matchup today is for shooting forwards. So that's Al Horford, also Grant Williams, but I like Al Horford here. 8.5 points. He's done this in 8 of his last 10 games, averaging 12.8. He's done this in 7 of 8 on 3 days rest, averaging 13.6. He's done this in his last 5 of 6 on the road, averaging 10.3. He had 13 points against Sacramento this season. And shooting forwards are averaging 17.1 points per game against Sacramento since February 1st.
Yeah, he's been really consistent from the 3 as well. Like he could get 9 points just on 3 threes.
Yeah. I looked at his threes too. That one was also popping. I wanted to go with the points here. And then I think this is a Tatum game. So shot creating wings / forwards, Sacramento. It's the best matchup against Sacramento. The best matchup in the league is against Sacramento. So 28.5 points. He's done this in 5 straight games on 2 days rest, averaging 34 points per game.
Wow.
So I like Tatum here. And then I also like his assists, 4.5 assists. It's minus 175. So I might even maybe do that, like do 25 points and put the assists with it, because the assists he's done in 12 of 14 games on the road this season, averaging 5.6 assists. And he's done it in his last 5 of 6 on 2 days rest on the road.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he's definitely due for a big game tonight.
I think so, because last game Brown had a big game, right?
I think so,
yeah.
I had one other. I liked actually Marcus Smart's assists as well, over 4.5 assists. He's done this in 9 of 10 games where he played 34 plus minutes. Okay, so very specific number of minutes. But then I dove into what he's been playing since he came back from his injury. In the 12 games back since injury, he's hit 34 plus minutes in 8 of the 12 games. So, he gets there more often than not. And I expect this to be probably a competitive game that, he'll get some good playing time. His only real risk of probably not getting to that 34-minute mark is if he gets in foul trouble, which he often does. He often racks up 4 plus fouls. So Marcus Smart, 4.5 assists.
All right. I like it.
All right.
Yep.
Cool. All right, let's move on. Yeah, you didn't have anybody on the Kings side, did you?
No, nothing. No one was really. Stretch bigs against Boston is a great matchup, but they don't have Sacramento doesn't have one. The other one's popping a little bit was Keegan Murray, but he's so up and down that nothing really here. Him and Trey Lyles, but nothing. Let's move on.
Okay. All right, last game. Thunder at the Clippers. Clippers are -7. Totals 238.5. So another high scoring game. What's popping on the matchups?
All right, so shot creating wing/forwards, which is Kawhi and Paul George, like have been crushing against OKC. But it's hard to find something. They're both kind of up and down. Like the consistency is lacking from these guys. So I couldn't find something individually on them. So I just wanted to preface it by saying that. The other matchup is shooting forwards also, which is Marcus Morris and Nick Batum. You can look at those two guys. Great matchups against OKC. Shot creating guards, which is Russell Westbrook against his old team. Also a nice matchup. So the reason I like the shot creating wing/forwards, Kawhi and Paul George, I'm going to read you off the guys who are in the same position designation against OKC recently. Booker, 46. Siakam, 25. Booker, 44. Booker, 25. Ingram, 34. LeBron, 38. Curry, 40. Fox, 33. Lillard, 38. And Russ, 27. So I think there's a good chance that either Kawhi or Paul George has a monster game here.
Now, which one is the question?
Which one? I'm leaning Paul George here. I feel like he had some more like wing guardy type players on that list with Booker and Curry and whatnot. So I think it's Paul George, but I'm not going to play his line by itself. I have something different that we haven't done here before.
Okay,
you ready?
Ooh, I'm very excited.
Okay. So on the other side of the ball, SGA has a nice matchup. Shot creating guards against the Clippers, also very nice. So I want to put SGA 25 points and Paul George 25 points together. It's -107. Not bad.
Not bad.
Not bad, right? SGA's done it in 9 of 10. Paul George has done it in 5 of 10. So he's your right. I mean, SGA 25 points is like -600. Paul George, it's like -170 or something like that. So
yeah, I mean, if you can get George down to 23,
yeah,
he's
listen. Use his adjusted line also, but yeah. If you're saying bring SGA up and bring George down,
or bring Kawhi into the mix and do
that's true.
Three players, right? So
that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I thought that was interesting. We haven't done many multi-player parlays or whatever, but I feel like in this game, and it's also the two guys who were traded for each other, So there's that a little extra juice there, maybe that they get up for this game. So I just had one other. You have stretch bigs have been all your bigs, but your versatile and stretch bigs. Not your traditional bigs have been crushing against the Clippers. So Clippers have their list of stretch bigs is like bigger than like multiple teams combined. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on their active roster.
Wow.
But the one we're going to go with is the Jaylin Williams, the center power forward Williams, over 6.5 points. -115. He's done this in 7 of 10 on the road, averaging 8.3, and his last 5 of 6 overall, averaging 8.7. In a nice matchup against the Clippers.
I wish they offered a prop on charges, because that guy is really good at taking the charge.
That would be good. That's a guy. I like that prop.
We're gonna have to add that into the mix.
Charges taken over or under 0.2 of a charge. Yeah. What about Zubac in this game? I kind of just looked at his history against OKC. I like 10.5 rebounds. His 2 games against OKC, he had 14 and 18 this season. He played 34 minutes in both of those games. So that was pre-Plumlee, I think. Plumlee's only getting 16 minutes of play right now. So Zubac's minutes has come down to about 29 minutes per game. So I just adjusted his lines from 34 minutes down to 29 minutes. So if you take the lower of the 2 games, 14 rebounds, you adjust that down by 15%, you get that down to 11.9.
rebounds. So if he had the same output in 5 less minutes, he would have ended up with about 12 rebounds. So I still like the 10.5 rebounds.
Yeah.
He hasn't done it very much lately, only 3 out of 10 games. But again, we always talk about the Thunder centers against the Thunder. So kind of like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't look into it, but yeah, I mean, it makes sense. It fits right with how we've been playing them. So yeah,
yeah,
I like that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, cool. That's a lot to digest. Lots of good picks today. I like it.
Yeah. All right, so we'll reconvene after this, and we'll organize some picks to post up on Twitter and enjoy the games.
Okay, enjoy.
Right.
See ya.
Okay.